Your wife has no business knowing your phone password. Your wife has no business knowing how much you earn. And your wife has no business asking you where you are. I'm Daniel, I'm Chisom, and I am Danlami. And together, we are the happily married men.
Danlami slapped the table. That is the secret, Danlami declared. Give a woman too much information and she will start thinking she's your manager. The three men laughed so loudly that the other men sitting nearby turned to look at them. 3 years, the three friends had treated marriage like a game of chess. They believed every husband needed rules, boundaries, and most importantly, control. They had even started advising other married men. According to them, a successful husband did not explain himself too much. He did not allow his wife to touch everything. He did not disclose every naira he earned. And above all, he never allowed his wife to become too comfortable asking questions. They believed they had discovered the formula. They had no idea that the same formula was already preparing their downfall. And before their story ended, one would lose his career opportunity, another would lose his marriage, and the third would lose something far more precious. So stay with the story until the end and tell the Storytime Lounge whether these men truly understood marriage or whether they were simply three proud men playing a dangerous game. It all began with Danlami. One morning, Danlami was in the bathroom, humming loudly as water splashed against the tiled floor.
Zara, his wife, was in the room when she noticed it vibrating. She picked it up. "Danlami," she called. "Your phone is ringing." The ringing continued. She walked toward the bathroom. "Danlami, your phone." Before she could reach the bathroom door, Danlami stepped out, a towel wrapped around his waist. His eyes immediately landed on the phone in her hand. His face changed. "Zara!" She stopped. "What? What are you doing with my phone?" Zara frowned. "I only picked it because it was ringing." Danlami walked toward her and snatched the phone from her hand. "I have told you not to touch my phone." Zara stared at him. "I only picked it because it was ringing. You don't hear word?" Her expression hardened. "What exactly is the big deal about your phone?" Danlami turned away. Zara followed him with her eyes. "Or is there something you're hiding?" Danlami spun around. "Are you accusing me of cheating?" Zara folded her arms. "You are the one making it look suspicious." Danlami scoffed. "Woman, know your place." The words landed heavily. Zara said nothing and left the room. Danlami walked into the bedroom and began scrolling through his phone. Meanwhile, across town, Chisom was having a completely different argument with his wife. Amara walked into the sitting room holding a colorful wedding invitation. "Chisom, look at the invitation Martha sent me." Chisom was sitting on the sofa, scrolling through his phone. He barely looked up. "That girl is such a sweetheart. I want to buy her a really big wedding gift." Chisom finally looked up. "A big gift?" Amara blinked. "Yes, why?" "I have already paid for your wedding outfit. I paid for the shoes, the makeup, everything you needed. Now you want me to buy a big gift?" Amara's excitement faded. "Darling, I wasn't asking you to. Do you think money grows on trees?" She became quiet. Chisom sighed dramatically. "I work myself to the bone for that small salary I earn, yet you want me to squander it on some wedding?" Amara immediately softened. Darling, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way." She sat beside him. "I know you work hard. Don't worry. I'll sort it out somehow. I will continue to pray that you get a better paying job." Chisom didn't answer. He simply returned to his phone. Amara watched him for a moment. Then she noticed the expensive watch on his wrist. She remembered the new shoes he had bought 2 days earlier. She remembered the restaurant he had taken himself to the previous weekend. Something didn't quite add up, but she pushed the thought away. Across town, Daniel's phone rings while he sits inside a sitting room that is not his home. Salome's voice comes through, tired, worried. "Daniel, where are you at this time? Responsible men are already home with their wives."
His voice hardens instantly. You talk to your husband like this, Salome? Why do you always twist it like I've offended you? I only asked where you are. He scoffs. I will come home whenever I wish. I am the head of this house and I do not like to be questioned about my whereabouts. A pause sharper now. When I buy you beautiful clothes, do you ask me where the money came from? Silence stretches on her end. Then, quietly, she says, I'm sorry. I only asked because I care about you. He hangs up without another word. Salome stares at the phone in her hand, something cold settling in her chest that she cannot yet name. By Saturday, the three friends are back at their table, chess pieces scattered mid-game. Danlami is laughing, retelling the morning as though it were a victory. You should have seen her face, he says, shaking his head. I told her straight, my phone is my phone. Daniel burst out laughing, slapping the table. Exactly. The moment you let your wife into your phone, you have already surrendered your authority in that house. Privacy keeps respect alive, Chisom adds, nodding slowly like a man reciting scripture. A younger man at a nearby table, newly married, overhears them and leans in. So, what about sharing passwords with your wives? The three men look at him like he has asked something foolish. Daniel shakes his head. Password? My brother, that is exactly how men lose their homes. Don't ever give a woman full access, Chisom warns. A wife, Danlami says, raising a finger, does not need to know everything about her husband. They laugh together, clinking glasses, utterly convinced of their own wisdom. They do not know it yet, but every single word leaving their mouths that evening is about to return to knock on their doors. Monday morning, Danlami is driving to work when his phone rings. He glances at it, just once. His hand drifts towards it. A vehicle swerves suddenly into his lane. Ah! The collision comes before he can react. Metal crashes against metal. Glass explodes across the road. His car spins violently, and within seconds, the man who spent years teaching other husbands how to stay in control lies unconscious behind a shattered windshield. By the time the ambulance arrives, he is completely unconscious. At the hospital, doctors rush him into the emergency unit. Zara arrives minutes later, breathless. Where is my husband? He is being attended to. Please wait here, a nurse says. Ya Allah, please don't let anything happen to him. Across town, Danlami's office is in chaos. As senior manager, he was meant to close the biggest deal the company has ever pursued, millions of naira, and the final document sits locked inside his private work email, accessible only through his phone. The managing director paces his office, phone in hand. Has anyone reached Danlami? Yes, sir, but he was involved in an accident this morning on his way to work. The director stops pacing. An accident? Is he all right? We don't know yet, sir. He is at the hospital. He exhales, rubbing his forehead. God forbid. Let's pray he's fine. A pause, heavier now. Is it possible to get to his wife? We have her number, sir. Then call her, gently. Ask after him first before anything else. Danlami's assistant quickly put a call through to Zara. Zara answers, trembling. Hello? Good afternoon, madam. This is Danlami's office. We just heard about the accident. How is he doing? He is still unconscious, Zara says, her voice cracking. The doctors haven't told us much. We're so sorry to hear that, madam. Please, we're praying for his quick recovery. A brief silence, careful, almost reluctant. Madam, forgive us for asking at a time like this, but there's something urgent at the office. We need a document from his work email. Is there any way we can reach it? I don't know his email password. His phone password then? I don't know that either. Silence stretches on the line. Madam, you don't know any of his passwords? His phone password then? I don't know that either. Silence stretches on the line. Madam, you don't know any of his passwords? No. The assistant lowered the phone slowly. His colleague asks, what did she say? She doesn't know any of his passwords. But isn't she his wife? He always talks about how happy his marriage is. Nobody answers. They try everything. IT, account recovery, every possible channel. Nothing works. The deadline passes. The client walks. The deal is gone, and the office falls into stunned silence. At the hospital, two of Danlami's colleagues came to check on Danlami and find Zara. "Madam, we lost the deal," one says. "What deal?" "We needed a document from his email. You didn't know the password." "But madam, how can you not know your husband's password?" the other asks. Zara stares at him. "What do you want me to do?" He has no answer. By afternoon, the whispers have started. She doesn't know anything about her husband. Maybe they were never close. If she was truly a good wife, wouldn't she know his password? Zara hears every word and walks away before they can see her cry. She locks herself in the hospital bathroom, leans against the wall and whispers, "You told me not to touch your phone. You told me not to ask questions." Her voice breaks. "So why is everyone blaming me for not knowing the answers?" She looks at herself in the mirror, and she wonders whether the marriage she has spent years defending was ever the marriage she thought it was. On the other side of town, Martha arrived at Amara's house with her friend BC. Amara welcomed them warmly. Come in, come in. I haven't seen you in weeks." Amara hugged Martha. "Is it because of the honeymoon?" Martha laughed. "My dear, it is, oh." They sat down laughing. Then BC's eyes landed on a framed photo on the wall. "Wait, is that your husband?" BC asked, pointing. "Yes," Amara smiled. BC laughed. "That's Mr. Chisom, my husband's colleague. Why didn't I see you at the promotion party?" Amara blinked. "What promotion party?" "He was promoted to regional manager. My husband took his former position. Close to 3 million a month, though. I'm surprised you didn't know." Amara froze. "My salary is barely enough." His voice echoed in her head. When the women left, Amara stood alone in the silence. Then she moved, checking his wardrobe, his jacket pockets, old messages on his laptop. She thought of how he always turned his phone away from bank alerts, always had an excuse to leave her out of office events, always complained about money he apparently no longer lacked. She stopped accepting his explanations. She called around quietly, asked careful questions, and the pieces fell into place. The promotion was real. The raise was real. The new things he'd bought were real. Yet at home, he played a struggling man. A week later, she found a folder. Inside was a marriage document, Chisom's name beside another woman's. Photographs, messages, 2 kids, a whole hidden life. "No," she whispered, hands shaking. "You weren't protecting my privacy. You were hiding a whole person from me." That evening, Chisom walked in, unaware his world had already collapsed. "Amara?" No answer. "Amara, where are you?" "Here," she said, from the dining table, the document lying in front of her. His face fell. "Who is she?" Amara asked. "Amara, listen. Don't tell me to listen. Explain this. There's a story behind it. There's always a story when a man is caught." She stood. "Explain your salary, your promotion. Explain why everyone in town knows you are a regional manager except your own wife." Silence. "And explain why another woman has a marriage certificate with your name on it." Chisom said nothing. There was nothing left to say. Amara picked up her packed luggage. "You spent so much time teaching me a wife shouldn't know everything." She turned at the door. "You were right about one thing. A wife doesn't need to know every little thing, but she deserves to know when she isn't the only wife." She walked out, leaving Chisom standing in the doorway, watching the woman he thought he controlled disappear down the street, with nothing left to say. But while Chisom was losing his marriage, Daniel was about to discover what happens when a man trains the person closest to him not to ask questions. At first, Salome didn't worry. Daniel had stayed out before, and he trained her never to question him, so she didn't. One night passed, then another, then a third. She picked up her phone, thumb hovering over his name. Then she remembered his voice.
I will come home whenever I wish. She dropped the phone. He said I shouldn't ask. But fear soon replaced her patience. She called him, switched off. She called his friend, Chisom.
Have you seen Daniel? No, why? He hasn't come home 3 days now. He's probably busy. He'll call you, madam. Don't worry too much. She decided not to listen to what Chisom had just said. She called his mother. Ma, have you heard from Daniel? No, why? I don't know where he is. By the end of that day, the whole family was worried, and Daniel was nowhere. His mother sat across from her. When did you last speak to him? 4 days ago. And you didn't report him missing? Salome lowered her eyes. He always told me not to ask where he was. What does that even mean? His mother asked. She shook her head. Forget what he said. Something is definitely wrong. That was when Salome stopped listening to Daniel's rules. She went to the police. My husband is missing. When did you last see him? 4 days ago. The officer's eyebrows lifted. And you are reporting now? Madam, do you know anywhere he might have gone? Salome thought of the arguments, the unexplained nights, how defensive he always got. She shook her head. I don't know. Then we start with his phone. The trace led to one address repeated again and again. A small rented apartment across town. Salome didn't recognize it, but something about it felt wrong. Police knocked on the gate. A young woman answered, and the color drained from her face at the sight of the uniforms. Do you know this man? The officer asked, holding up Daniel's photo. No. Then why does his last phone location show him here repeatedly? Inside, they found another man and a rental document with Daniel's name on it. The lies collapsed. Salome stepped forward, pleading. Please, please help me. Tell me where my husband is. The woman broke down. He came here a few days ago. He found us together. Daniel had arrived that night unannounced and caught his girlfriend with another man in the very apartment he paid rent for. Rage took over. Who is this man? He demanded. You don't own her, the stranger shot back.
Daniel grabbed him, slammed him against the wall. You think you can come into my house? This isn't your house. Daniel punched him once, twice, again, deaf to the woman screaming for him to stop. Terrified for the man she loved, she grabbed the nearest heavy object, an iron frying pan, and swung with everything she had. The blow landed. Daniel staggered, his eyes rolled back, and he collapsed. Silence swallowed the room. Daniel? She shook him. Nothing. He's not breathing. We have to call the police. No! They'll arrest us. He attacked me. And you were with me. Panic won. Instead of calling for help, they wrapped his body, carried it out under cover of darkness, and let the river outside the city take what was left of the truth. He always told me not to ask where he was. She shook her head slowly, eyes distant. I never imagined it would come to this. The truth had already destroyed something in her. Silence had not protected their marriage. It had only made his disappearance easier to overlook. Meanwhile, Chisom was experiencing his own collapse. Amara had left. She had gone to stay in a hotel while preparing to leave the country and join her brother. Chisom tried calling her, no answer. Chisom rang for the 10th time that night. Amara stared at it from the hotel bed before finally picking up, her voice flat. What do you want, Chisom? Amara, please, just hear me out. Come home, let's talk. Talk about what? About us, about everything. She let out a short, bitter laugh. For years you shouted that money was tight, that your salary was nothing, that I should manage. Meanwhile, you were buying yourself expensive things and hiding a whole promotion from me. Your voice hardened. You made me feel like I had no right to even ask what you earned. Amara, I can explain. And the other family, she cut in, if I hadn't found out myself, would you have ever told me? Be honest. Silence answered her. That's what I thought. She wiped her face. You didn't want privacy, Chisom. You wanted to live 2 lives without anyone catching you. A pause. Don't call this number again. She ended the call, then blocked him. On her phone, on every app, everywhere he could reach her. Days later, Danlami finally opened his eyes. Zara, I'm here, she said, leaning close. He tried to sit up. Don't move too much, she said gently. He looked around, dazed. What happened? You had an accident. Fragments of the crash returned to him. Then his eyes drifted to the table beside the bed. My phone. It's here. He swallowed. The company. Did they close the deal? Zara hesitated, then told him everything. How they couldn't get into his email, how the deadline had passed, and how it had all fallen apart because no one, not even his own wife, could unlock a single device. His face changed. The deal is gone? Yes. Silence stretched between them. Danlami turned his face away. For years, he had been proud to keeping his phone away from his wife. Now, the weight of that pride had finally caught up with him. Zara watched him for a long moment. You know what hurts me? He looked at her. It isn't the money your company lost. It isn't even how people blamed me. Her voice trembled. It's that when you were lying there unconscious, I wanted to help you. Her eyes filled, and I couldn't. I was only protecting my privacy, he said quietly. Zara shook her head. No, you are protecting yourself from your wife. The words landed harder than the accident itself. She stood, picking up her bag. I don't need your password to control you, but I should never have to feel like a stranger in my own marriage.
She walked out. Danlami didn't stop her. He couldn't. For the first time, he understood that a locked phone could always be opened, but a locked fat was far harder to reach. Days later, Daniel's body was recovered from the river. Salome went to identify him, standing outside the morgue, trembling, before walking in alone. When she saw him, she covered her mouth. But when she spoke, there was no blame left in her voice, only clarity. I shouldn't blame myself, she said softly. You didn't let me ask about your whereabouts because you wanted to live a lifestyle I would have questioned. A tear slid down her cheek. You wanted to live a life that wasn't fitting for a married man, and you built rules to protect that, not to protect us. News of Daniel's death spread through the neighborhood. An elderly man who had known the 3 friends well looked toward the abandoned chessboard and said, they were not unlucky.
They were not unlucky. They kept moving the same pieces. They thought marriage was a game where one person had to win. But in marriage, when one person wins by making the other afraid, both people lose. Your wife has no business knowing your password. But what if you're unconscious? She doesn't need to know your salary. But aren't you building a life together? She has no business asking where you are. But what if something happens to you?
There is nothing wrong with privacy in a marriage, nothing wrong with personal space or healthy boundaries. But a boundary was never meant to become a prison. A password should protect information, never become a weapon that breeds suspicion. Freedom matters, but freedom does not mean vanishing from someone's life and demanding they never ask if you are safe.
Danlami lost the business deal because the woman beside him had no way to help him when it mattered most. Chisom lost his wife because the privacy he defended was a cover for his second family. Daniel lost his life after years of convincing his wife that his whereabouts were none of her concern. None of it happened because these men had boundaries. It happened because their boundaries became walls. And walls don't only keep people out. Sometimes they keep help from getting in. Listen, dear viewers, it's not safe out there. If someone constantly asks where you are, that isn't a disturbance. That's love doing its job quietly. Because should anything ever happen to you, that's the person who can help find you. Think about it. So tell us, were these three men simply protecting their privacy, or did pride turn healthy boundaries into dangerous secrecy? Would you share your phone password with your spouse? Should husbands and wives know what each other earns? Drop your answers in the comments, like this video, and subscribe to the Storytime Lounge for more stories that will make you think, laugh, and maybe see someone you know. Because the biggest lessons never come from what people did right. They come from what people were so certain they were doing right until life showed them otherwise. They thought they had put their wives in check. They never saw that they had placed themselves in checkmate.
This is the story for today. If it made you pause for a second, that's all I ever hoped for. See you in the next one.
Chisom, Danlami, happily married men.